Joe Sullivan was one of the most honest, independent thinkers that I've had the opportunity to meet in my life. He called UC Davis and said he was interested in knowing more about UC Davis and particularly the Cancer Center, that he was interested in making some kind of contribution to advance cancer research and education. And so my friend introduced me and we both drove out to his house in North Sacramento, and we sat and chatted with Joe just in the garage as you might be on the front porch of any home in America, and just hearing about his perspectives on life and reminiscing about his life, letting him do some life review, and then also hearing about why he thought supporting cancer research and education at UC Davis was so important to him. Joe had always been a self-sufficient, independent-minded man who knew his own mind and knew what he wanted. Joe served well in World War II. He was a mechanic and kept the trucks and jeeps rolling. After World War II, he left the service and set up his own trucking company and carried on his own for the rest of his life till he retired. I think, my relationship with Joe was one of mutual, I think, fondness for each other. He had a way of just immediately allowing you to be yourself and be comfortable. It was just a genuine type of relationship. Joe Sullivan left us a gift. He left us his entire estate, his home and his savings account. And when you think that Joe did have a substantial savings account, which he certainly could have spent to improve his own life, but he didn't. He had made a commitment that he was saving his money toward cancer research and education. So I think I learned a fair amount about living while Joe was alive. I think I learned even more after Joe's passing, that when we had his funeral, we had the Veterans of Foreign War there. We had a flag folding ceremony. We played taps. And I think most of us cried at the funeral because it was so touching to really see people, many of whom didn't know Joe, and others who did, really honor a person who had served his country, served people with little or no recognition and none asked for, and then to be honored in his death. It was really remarkable that you do what's right, you don't ask for recognition, and at some point the community thanks you. I think Joe really talks to us from his grave and saying, don't be satisfied either with the status of cancer treatment or diagnostics, but also don't be satisfied with the community, that as long as we have poverty, as long as we have young people who aren't getting the education they deserve that will lead them out of poverty and into a better life, that our communities will be better places to live, we can't rest. And I think Joe really talks to us every day about that.